Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different, which is a get ready with me with new products that I have bought. So this is kind of a get ready with me with also a haul mixed in because I have not shown these products previously on my channel. And so with that being said, I'm going to show you what we have, and then we are going to get right into putting these on my face. So first we have several items from the new e.l.f. Mint collection. I did get their Mint Melt Cooling Primer, which we will try out. I got two of their little quads, which are Chocolate Mint, which is this one, and Mint to Be. I also got two of the No Budge Shadow Sticks in the shade Ice Cream and Mint for You. I love the packaging. This mint color is just beautiful. Then we also got a mini of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in the shade Too Fair. These are new in the mini line, and I'm so glad that she made a mini version because I have wanted to try this. We have the new Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation, the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator in the shade Light Medium. So I don't use powder foundation on its own, and so I will be using this to set this tinted hydrator. We do have two of the Rare Beauty blushes. These are new, her new blushes. They're kind of the cream. I'll show you all in a little bit, but I have Nearly Mauve and Nearly Apricot that I picked up. Then we have the Nars Soft Matte in Light 2.3 Matte. This is the concealer, so I'm not sure if I'll use this. I might use it to set my under eye and see how that works. And then a lip gloss from Mcgrath in Alien Gelic. This is a Kate the Great made me buy it. It's just beautiful and duochrome-y. So with that being said, we are going to jump right in. Okay, so let's get started with this Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. It does have a pump, which I love. Just going to squeeze. Ooh, it's green. Very minty. Very goopy. Oh, it feels very sticky. You guys hear that? I'm wondering if it's going to be like the Milk Hydro Grip foundation or primer. Oh, it feels sticky. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It might let the foundation sit on the skin. Oh. Do you see? I'm stuck to myself. Okay. And just blended that in. So it's definitely tacky. So if you like a tacky primer, I don't smell anything, so it's not like a mint smelling. Might just be the mint collection as far as color and packaging. So next we're going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I know some people use this in a variety of different ways. This has a little doe foot. I'm going to use it today as a under the skin, kind of just to add some luminosity and glow. I definitely don't think that this is something that I could use as a foundation, but some people do and get away with it. I just feel like it's kind of shiny, and that's just not, I'm dry, but I don't want to go around looking like the Tin Man. So really pretty, just glow to the skin, you can see there. Definitely love that. Okay, we are going to go in now with the Tinted Hydrator from Wet n Wild. Again, shade Light Medium. This has a squeezy tube, so I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out onto my finger and dab that onto my face. So the claims on this one, this does have hyaluronic acid and squalane oil. It's oil-free, and it's supposed to be a sheer to medium coverage tinted hydrator. I'm going to use just a beauty sponge that has been wet. So it's definitely evening out the redness on my face. I don't have a lot to cover right now, you guys, which is great for me, bad for demo purposes. But hopefully you can see I do have like redness up in my forehead area, so hopefully we'll see what this does for that.
So it blended in really, really easily. I am definitely
not seeing any settling yet into my lines. There are some foundations, or I don't want to call this a foundation, but some products like this, face products that do tend to set in really quickly. So I do like that. I still have some redness that you can kind of see poking through the skin. I'm going to try to see if I can layer this just a hair. Now, the shade selection on this is really terrible. It is just supposed to be a tinted hydrator, but the fact that it boasts itself as being a sheer to medium does worry me in the sense that with such a limited range, you're not going to be able to meet everyone's kind of skin tone. So there are some skin tints that, because they're just tints, you can do 4 or 5 colors. Because they're so sheer that it doesn't really matter if you have a big range. So let's see. So this is 2 layers. I will say it did cover up the red along my cheeks. My forehead looks pretty well covered, and that's again because I'm using a beauty sponge. I would imagine if you use a foundation brush, you would definitely get a little bit of a higher coverage than what I am getting. So overall, I think it looks pretty on my skin. It looks dewy. It's not bringing out any matteness, which is always a concern for me because I have dry skin. Not clinging to any dry patches. I did not use a pore filling primer, so wanted to see what it was going to do on its own. Well, and I was using the gripping primer, but that gripping primer does seem to have really gotten this to adhere. Let's see. So it is a little tacky, so I'm going to give it just a second to use this Nars Concealer. Again, I got the shade Madeline, which looks a little dark for me. I hope it ends up being okay. My hands are definitely lighter than my face, so we are going to actually see if this will work on the under eye area and then see if we can set. So I'm just going to use this little e.l.f. blending perfector brush, kind of just swirl it into the concealer and see if we can get a little bit for under the eyes.
Now, I know people use this on their face, which is kind of what I bought it for, not necessarily an under eye concealer, but I have heard that people do wear it under their eyes and think that it works okay. But I really don't have much to cover today. I am just getting over some really bad, I had a really bad blemish on my forehead, but it's pretty much gone now.
So there's kind of one pass through. You can definitely still see some darkness. I also am not using a color corrector like I normally would, like a peachy tone. Again, just to see the fidelity of these products. I think I got more coverage on this side, it looks like. I might do just a little bit more with my finger right up along the hollow. See if we can kind of, that's better. So definitely a more dry kind of concealer, but I think it would be great again for blemishes. Let's see if I can put them on. That one right there. Okay, so that did a great job on the blemish more than the under eye area. So now we are going to jump into the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. I did get the shade 150. It looks like this, has a mirror of course, and then the bottom has the sponge, and I kind of like the way that she did the back where it's another kind of pseudo mirror. Again, I don't typically use powder foundations on their own, but when I'm using a skin tint, I do like to set it with a powder foundation sometimes because it gives me that added coverage. So let's kind of just do half the face and see what we have.
Okay.
So I think you can definitely see that it has mattified some of that sheen. So it is a soft matte, but I don't see that it's clinging to dry patches. It did add some coverage of the redness here that I still had on my cheeks a little bit that hydrator didn't kind of cover, which I like. And I have heard, I think I saw Jamie Page where she reviewed this, and she has dry skin, but she reviewed it, if you're looking for somebody who's reviewing it as a full-on powder foundation only. And she said the weirdest thing happened where as the day went on, so it didn't look super great at the beginning, but as the day went on, it almost melted into the skin better. and looked better the longer she had it on. So I'm also going to get the tip of that and kind of just set my under eye also, since I didn't get anything specific to that. Okay. Here's where we are. So far, I'm liking both of these products. I don't see any issues. I do think, and I'm not sure if it was the Tinted Hydrator or the powder that I put, but it is clinging along my nose, but not horribly. So might just be needing to use a pore filling primer. So here we are with the primer, skin tint / foundation, and Fenty powder. All right, you guys, I am back. I have bronzed my face. I went ahead and bronzed with the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer in Seychelles. I mentioned this in my Best of Beauty. This is the mini. I figured since we had so many minty colored items here that this would just fit well. I also wanted to see how the powder would play with cream products, because I do like to set, again, my foundation most days, but I really enjoy wearing cream products. And so I do like to make sure that the powders that I'm using play well with cream products. And it does look pretty good. I will say I did have a little bit of blending issues on this side, but I think it was because it was still, I don't know if just in this corner, if maybe I had just put too much powder, but I ended up being able to blend it. It didn't move the foundation underneath. So I think it's okay. So with that, we're going to move on to the Rare Beauty blush. Again, a cream product on top of a powder. So I'm going to swatch the two shades that I got. And this is Nearly Mauve right here. And this is Nearly Apricot. So I wanted to kind of go two different routes. Oh, they feel so pretty. I have not used these yet, you guys. Okay, so the Nearly Apricot is definitely lighter, but they feel very soft and smooth. So there they are. This is Nearly Apricot, Nearly Mauve, and of course that's the Madeline Nars Concealer. These just feel really pretty. They're definitely lighter than her liquid blushes, which I also mentioned in my favorites of Best in Beauty 2020. I really like the compact version of these. I think that's really okay. So we are going to go with Apricot, I think is what I've decided, since we are going to be using mint on the eyes. I'm going to use, again, just my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, one of my favorites for cream product. So with something like this, I'm just going to I'm going to start slowly and dabble. So just gentle touches. Her last liquid blushes were definitely a slap in the face, kind of, if you did too much. So I'm not getting much yet, but this was definitely the lighter of the two. So I went in a little bit harder. Okay, so there's the pigment. Ooh, I love this color, you guys, this Nearly Apricot. Again, we're over a powder foundation, or a powder, well, yeah, it is a powder foundation, but a powder product. It doesn't seem to be moving the product underneath. Really beautiful. Love the sheen that's giving. So let's do it on the other side. For reference, what I ended up having to do was kind of more of a pull the product to really get this one on. I'm not sure if that'll be the same issue that I have with the mauve one, since that one was a little more pigmented off the bat. So again, definitely more user-friendly than her liquid version of this, I would say. With blush, you really want to kind of concentrate the darker color in the back, up the cheekbones. I do like bringing mine up to the apples of the cheek. I know not everybody does. Really, it's just a matter of preference and what you think works best for your face shape. I love this, you guys. If this has a good wear time, I think that this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So, okay, you guys, so I have put on a little bit of highlighter, which I just used the Laura Mercier Baked Matte Radiance. So just that, and then I just threw on some brows, Anastasia Brow Wiz, some brow powder from Smashbox, and looks so much more human with eyebrows on. So we are going to jump into the next category, which is eyes. So I'm going to do just some quick swatches for you guys of the products and traditional shadow stick. This is the mint color. very smooth, very minty. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this look yet, you guys. It's a Sunday right before MLK, and so I have no plans today, nothing to do. Ooh, this ice cream shade it's kind of sheer, but it's a really pretty brown. It's definitely, I mean, it's very sheer. So this might be like a nice inner corner highlight or maybe a topper, not really sure. It's meant to be. So this one's kind of the more minty one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you from swatching the first two with just my finger. This almost feels like these first two are more of a glitter. I'm going to get some more for you. Formula, which not a fan of. And the two mattes look good. So let me see where I can swatch these for you. Oh, that matte one does not come up, or the matte mint color is not showing very well. So this one is the one you cannot see. Granted, a shade like this is not something that is going to be very easy to see on the skin. So built it up a little bit, not great. Okay, back with clean fingers. Let's do the chocolate mint. Okay, so these two up front are definitely not the glitter formulation. This is more of their traditional shimmer shades that you kind of have found in these before. So it looks like the two kind of glitters from before, maybe newer. Let's see if I can do these right next to this. So that shimmer mint definitely comes out a lot better than the matte mint did. Okay. So right off the bat, without even testing these, I would recommend the chocolate mint palette over the mint to be. I can already tell you I'm not going to like the glitter formula of these, maybe just as toppers. This was very hard to get to show up. So if I had to recommend one, again, just based purely on swatches alone, it would be chocolate mint. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do to try to get as much use out of these as I can is I'm going to use the No Budge eyeshadow stick as a base for my eyes. So instead of using primer.
I'm just going to kind of put this all over. We are definitely going bright today. So very messy. I'm going to tap this out with my, ooh, I am in the 70s, you guys. Here I come, go-go girls. Well, I mean, if that is the look you are going for, you have found it. Okay, so again, just kind of mushing this around because it's going to be our base color. That is a really strong cream shadow. I think this is actually going to be a really pretty base though, which hopefully, since our mints are maybe a little more subdued in the eyeshadow, this will give it a boost.
So there's what we're looking like, kind of smudged out. I like that. I think, you guys, that these would be, again, great if you have, especially this color, something I do not match today at all, going on. First, we're going to do that very light mint all in this shade from the Mint to Be. We are just going to do that all over to kind of see if we can get that to be a transition color for us. And to set this mint crayon. So again, just being messy with it. I'm not seeing much color payoff on its own, but it's doing a good job of setting the mint crayon.
You guys, I have no idea where this look is going. I might look a hot mess in a minute. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to dip into this brown from the Chocolate Mint palette to try to put in my crease. Start grounding our look with some neutrals. So a lot of people who are afraid to play with color is because they think to do a colorful look, you have to use all color, and that's not true. So once you start laying down some neutrals within the look, it grounds the colors and makes them much more wearable and kind of just, I don't want to say tones them down, but it really does. It helps to kind of just, and we're going to bring some of that mint color back, so don't worry about that it's being covered, you guys. So can you tell the difference already how we've grounded this mint look? Okay, we are going to go back into the chocolate mint palette. I am going to get this really pretty shimmery mint that we talked about. That is going to go right on my lid. Right up here where I talked about not to worry that we were going to cover some of that base color. Ooh, this is a pretty mint. You guys see that? I think adding the shadow stick as a base definitely helped with bringing the color payoff on this. And I'm just using my fingers. I think with shimmer shades, you definitely get the best kind of lay down. So I'll do it with my fingers first, and then I'll bring in usually a brush to smooth out the edges. Okay, here's where we are. Now, as much as I don't want to play with the glitters in this, I am going to do a little bit of, I think, the lighter minty shade. Just, oh, it's so chalky and glittery for you. Just on the center. Oh, getting some glitter fallout. I didn't use a glitter glue, so also my fault. So I think on top it definitely adds a little bit more glitter and more sheen. I have some fallout happening. I don't think that that would look well on its own. Again, it's just so glittery that it doesn't have as much of a base payoff. So I'm going to do one last step, which is just deepening up the crease really quickly with that really deep, deep color. So I'll probably just do one eyeball really quick and then pause you and do the second. So just gonna press it in. Work that through the crease, the outer crease. Again, neutrals are grounding this eye look so that we don't look crazy with mint on our eyes. So just really simple. See the difference? Okay, so that's it with these two palettes. We are going to double back to the No Budge Shadow Stick. I mentioned I was going to try this in my inner corner. Okay. It does look like a very pretty inner corner kind of shade. I think that's really pretty. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit so that it ties together. I don't know that I would use this often that way, but it looks nice for the look. So now I'm going to do under the lashes, and I think for that what I want to do, because I used almost all the shades, but I have not used this one for sure. So I'm going to take some of that darker green and do that under my lashes on my lash line. Ooh, I got some serious glitter fallout from that glitter on my eyeball. Let's see if we can cover it up. One of the things when you're doing a little makeup hack or trick, if you get some fallout under your lash, under your eye, from your top eyelid, you can usually cover it up when you're doing your under eye with shadow. So
cover that up. I'm going to do the dark color, and then I think I'm going to blend it out with the lighter mint from that shade. So don't worry that it's a little bit deep. Anybody else open your mouth when you're doing something like that? Okay, so here's where we're at now.
I'm going to take the light mint from this one, same brush, and just blend that out a little so it's not so harsh.
I honestly find the best way to blend my under eye is to close my eye and just roll. It just works for me. So if you're scared of using under eye, like under your eyeshadow under your lid, I suggest going with the closed eye method. It really helps, and it really helps you to blend thoroughly and effectively. Okay, so here's
where we are. So far, I'm not mad at the look. I definitely think it came back. I do have to clean up the edge a little bit here. I was a little messy in doing that. So I'm going to do that, put on some eyeliner, mascara, and then I will come back, do the lips, and then I will kind of tell you my first impressions. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I have done my eyeliner. I used the Hank & Henry black eyeliner, liquid liner. I used the, oh, I didn't leave it out, but I used just my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara for my lashes. And then I did just put on some Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk on my lips. We are going to try out the Mcgrath Lip Gloss that I bought. And then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on all of these products. So again, this is Alien Gelic. Let's swatch that. Ooh, that matches the little shimmer shade that we used. So again, I'm just going to use this on, oh, see what that's doing? That's such a pretty lip gloss. I love that, you guys. Of course, when you use a color over, it's going to get the gloss stick dirty, the doe foot. I love that duochromeness. I think with this look, it definitely does something special. Okay, so now to talk first impressions. The e.l.f. Mint Cooling Face Primer, I feel like this is very reminiscent of the Melt Grip Primer. It did definitely hold my foundation to the skin, so it felt a little tacky, which actually lends itself to grabbing that foundation or whatever product you're putting on top and really helping it adhere to the skin, which for a skin tint that I used, I think that's a very smart type of primer to use, because skin tints and skin glosses and hydrating things like that tend to kind of just slide. And so I think something like this is really great. So I didn't like the texture, but I also didn't like the texture of the grip, the Melt Grip Priming primer, but it sticks so beautifully that it's that way for a reason. So far I do like this. The Tinted Hydrator from Wet n Wild, I think that this looked beautiful on the skin. I think it still does. I still do not have any creasing up in my forehead. I'm not seeing any creasing, you know, around the skin. That area around my nose looks a lot better already. And so again, I don't know if that was the foundation or the powder, but I definitely think that this foundation is very, very pretty. So I'm excited to see what the wear time is, because this is something I could definitely see myself throwing on in the morning for a work day. Next, we have the Flawless Filter. I'm not sure what this does, if it did anything special. I do have some glow to my skin. So, I mean, I'm thinking maybe that's coming from this product, potentially the skin. The Tinted Hydrator also has hyaluronic acid, which lends itself to some glowy properties. And so I might have to try these separate and let you know kind of if this really does add anything to the skin. I don't know if it's worth the money. If you guys have used this, tell me what's your favorite way to use it. Maybe I need to use it as I should have used it as a highlighter on top of my highlighter or on top of my skin. I just don't know. I don't know about this. The concealer, so under my eyes, does not look crepey. It doesn't look creasy. I think it did better on my blemish, so actually on my skin. I don't think I would use this under my eyes, which is not uncommon. I don't use these types of products typically under my eyes. But so far so good. I originally thought the color was maybe a little dark for me in Madeline, but for my actual skin and not my under eye where I'm looking for brightening, I do think it's a perfect match. The Fenty powder foundation. So far I liked this to set my foundation. I don't think it was too matte. I thought it was perfect. It really is beautiful. I could see myself taking this in my purse for touch-ups. I would like to see kind of how that works and kind of just touch up throughout the day. It is beautiful, and her packaging is just, again, you guys, gorgeous. So I like this so far. I may attempt to do another video. Let me know if you would like that, where I use this as its intended purpose, which is a powder foundation. The Rare Beauty blushes, you guys. Oh, I love Selena Gomez has done right with blushes, you guys. They are just beautiful. I am hoping that these last as long as her liquid ones do, because I much prefer the format of having them in a little compact. The compact's beautiful. It's just a really pretty, it's very girly and pinky and purpley mauve. It's beautiful. I love these. I already want to go and put more colors in my cart based on first impressions. Okay, now for my thoughts on the rest of the e.l.f. products. So of the two No Budge Shadow Sticks, I definitely preferred the Mint for You, which was the mint color, over the ice cream shade. I thought that this was an okay inner highlight, but definitely not something I'm going to reach for on a regular basis. This is a primer or something under the lid to really kind of build the color. Beautiful. Now of the two quads, which I'm a little sad about because so far I've loved all of these quads from e.l.f. I really loved the chocolate mint palette, and this was the one with your two kind of shimmer satin shades and then your two mattes. I unfortunately did not like the mint to be. These two shades are just glittery messes for me. I don't appreciate them. This one had very little color payoff, and so really the only shade in here that I thought performed decently well was the darker green. So from these, I would say if you're going to pick them up, pick this one up over this one. And maybe add in this mint shadow stick if you're looking to get kind of this matte mint that's in this one. And I think this would be a perfect combination if you're looking for mint. And the last product, you guys, is the Pat McGrath Lip Gloss in Alien Gelic. I think this is just beautiful on the lips. It's a beautiful duochrome. I think it would add something special, and I hope that the camera is picking that up where you have kind of that green and pink and purpliness, just a variety of different shades. I think this is a gorgeous topper over any lip color, so highly recommend. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed the style of get ready with me / hauling at the same time. And if you have tried any of these products, please let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear how they worked for you. If you have any suggestions, especially on how I should use this Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I would be happy to hear them because I really want to get my money's worth out of this product. And I have heard so many people rave about it. So with that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below to be part of the Cam fam. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.